first-generation tech hardware is always raw in nature. The amount of engineering from both a software and hardware level is impressive. The fact that you are only paying $24 for essentially unlimited data is a perk that isn't getting talked about enough. Is it worth the $700 purchase price plus the $24 month subscription? With AI in its infancy, this seems like an amazing opportunity for us as a species to evolve our relationship with consumer technology. The current consumer lives in a perpetual state of ignorance. Applications exist to monetize on the consumer. Imagine a relationship with technology that specifically serves the user, not the producer. The idea of transitioning to being present in the moment, being present in life, is refreshing. The reality is, the majority of the consumers have been conditioned to want their screen. Deep down we all know that detaching from the screen organically feels right. Narcissism prohibits change. Kudos to the humane team for dreaming larger, excited to see what comes next. You can view the pin from 3 levels. The first, highest level is the grand vision, the idea that screens are something that humanity needs to be saved from, possibly even against their better judgment. The second level is the product concept, the perfect version of this particular type of device. Lapel pin W projection as something that would be able to bring forth this grand vision. The third level is the reality of this device as of today. How close is it to the perfect version of this particular type of device? I take it you subscribe to the grand vision? Do you think they've done well on the second and third levels? The good. There are some positives. I have made phone calls with the AI pin. The person on the other end said I didn't sound great, but it was nice not having to hold a phone up to my face. The bad. One time, after asking the AI pin 3 questions, the pin alerted me that it was too hot and needed to cool down. Indeed, the touchpad and the sides of the device were uncomfortably hot. At The Verge, David Pierce decried many of the AI pin's missteps and described it as a proof of concept for a future where the AI pin is a killer device. Today, it is not that. The good. The single coolest thing I've been able to do with the AI pen is something I've done a few times now. I stand in front of a store or restaurant, press and hold on the touchpad, and say, "Look at this restaurant and tell me if it has good reviews." The AI pen snaps a photo with its camera, pings some image recognition models, figures out what I'm looking at, scours the web for reviews, and returns it back. Tacombi has great reviews, it might say. People really like the tacos and the friendly staff. The bad. AI pen can't set an alarm or a timer. It can't add things to your calendar, either, or tell you what's already there. You can create notes and lists, which appear in the Humane Center web app that is also where you connect the device to your contacts and review your uploaded photos. But if you try to add something to the list later, it'll almost always fail for some reason. The problem with so many voice assistants is that they can't do much, and the AI pen can do even less. Chris Velasco at The Washington Post was kinder to the AI pen in his review, but in the end, it just made him reevaluate how he uses his phone. The good. Humane is right about one thing. Interacting with a device like this feels surprisingly natural, to the point where I sometimes find myself reaching for the pin to ask a question even when I'm not wearing it. The bad. But using the pin can get frustrating fast. Take those tilt and pinch gestures. They're easy to understand, but hard to master. Even after 2 weeks, I still find myself struggling to select just the right menu options. Here's another catch. The projector is basically unreadable when you're in the sun. Summer's just around the corner, and it's sure to offer plenty of warm days I don't want my phone to get in the way of, but the pin is much less useful in broad daylight. In terms of the response time, I think the problem is the combination of lag inherent in the server-based model with the naturally slow speed, low bandwidth of a voice response. So it's not only about comparing the absolute time, but the fact that once you start getting the answer you get a lot less of it. Now if the short answer was almost instantaneous, this might not be such an issue. On a more general note, I think the main argument of the Verge piece seems correct. On the humanity's savior, fun gadget continuum, it seems to actually be a lot closer to the latter and generally garner a lot more positive responses from people when viewed as such.